Hello. Holy shit, coming in hot. Monica Lamb, my small donation comes with big hopes for you and your endeavors. That is very easily, I think, the most generous super chat I've ever received. Thank you, Monica. I'm very taken aback by such a very generous donation. I really appreciate that. Thank you. You know, it's hard out here in these YouTube streets, especially when you're a little bitty channel like mine. So thank you so much. You guys are really giving me some nice grocery pocket change here with these super chats lately. So yeah, you guys probably have no idea what this is about because I very cryptic with the thumbnail and the lack of a title and stuff. But I'm just gonna try to kind of get some things off my chest real quick, and then we can just kind of hang out a little bit. I hope you guys have something to drink. I'm drinking a Mezcal Mule. So yeah, I don't know how many of you saw it, but I put up a video earlier this week about the body positivity movement and how I think it's taken a very wrong turn. And first off, I owe a lot of you guys an apology because I knew that video was a risk. And I knew, and I legit said within the first 60 seconds of it, that a lot of people would react to the subject matter based off of emotion rather than the actual content of my video. And in case you did miss that video, the TLDR is I was just talking about the disturbing rhetoric that I've seen emerge from this body positivity movement, where people are now suggesting that they are healthy despite also being obese, or in some cases morbidly obese. So in my video, I was making it clear that that rhetoric is nonsense. Obesity, and especially morbid obesity, cannot coexist with health in the short term, most likely, and certainly not in the long term. Once you are several pounds over what you should be in terms of a healthy ratio of lean tissue to body fat, it just puts a lot of strain on your heart, your joints, your overall health, your blood sugar levels, all that kind of stuff. But rather than upholding really archaic beauty standards and being, trying to be like runway model thin, because I think that's equally unhealthy. And I said as such in the video, I was saying that we should focus instead on a healthy ratio, like I was just saying, of lean tissue to body fat, keeping that body fat percentage in a healthy range rather than worrying about how many pounds we weigh or what our BMI is, which is largely the same thing because BMI is based off of your height and your weight anyway. And I also was saying that I think body positivity should focus on behaviors that are positive for our bodies rather than being like, I'm 300 pounds and I'm healthy. Like that's just ridiculous, So I think that our food choices, our activity levels, all that kind of shit, we shouldn't be celebrating remaining in a state of obesity, because inherent within that lifestyle are choices that are undoubtedly body negative. Now, if you are 300 pounds, 400 pounds, 500 pounds, and you're happy, more power to you. I just take issue with the claims that I'm hearing from people of these sizes that they are still somehow that size and healthy. That's where I take issue. If you want to remain obese, that is your God-given right. I'm not telling anyone to lose weight. What I'm telling them to stop doing, or I should say asking them to stop doing, is spreading rhetoric that is somehow compatible with being healthy. Within the first hour of that video going up, I was getting inundated with comments from people who clearly did not listen to anything I had to say, like at all. Despite the types of comments like that were just really, in many ways, I specifically said, please be respectful, even if you disagree. There were just comments that were really plucking my nerves too much. They were the minority, but it was still a lot. And I mean a lot. And it's probably still continuing because the video's only been up since Monday. So rather than waste my time responding to people leaving these sorts of baseless comments because they legit didn't listen to what I actually said in the video, or they were just not smart enough to understand it, I decided to just stop reading and responding to comments full stop on the video. So that's where I'm apologizing, because for the people who didn't want to give me the courtesy of at least listening to me before telling me off, I don't have to give you the courtesy of reading your dumbass comments. And unfortunately, that also means I've had to miss out on comments from people like you guys, the people who are my real ones who show up for these lives that are often at the last minute lately because I just feel like doing them. And if you show up, then I know you're a real ride or die. And that means that like by ignoring all the comments, I've had to miss out on comments from you guys or even people who disagreed, but were still respectful and thoughtful. And I'm sorry about that because, you know, once you put all the comments together, I'm sure the bulk of them will be from people who disagreed respectfully or people who were in agreement or whatever. But yeah, like it's just too many of the other comments. And I figured I should do this kind of apology as a live because those of you who actually watch these live streams are my realest ones. And I figured you guys might be commenting on that video and like, why the fuck is T ignoring my comment? Because most of you know I'm usually very active in my comments. Yeah, be buff. I mean, a lot of people were just in their feelings, which I understand. Like I said in the video, I was really careful with all of my word choices because I come from the perspective of having been obese. Like I understand how, and it's not like I don't deal with those sensitivities now that I'm in a healthy body fat percentage. I feel like I'm better now, but there's still certain words, like I said in that video, there's still certain words that upset me. Like, I don't like it when people call me thick, even though some people think that's a compliment. It rubs me the wrong way. I don't like it. So we all have our hangups, which was why I tried to stick to medical terms. Like obesity is not a judgment on you. It is a medical classification. But yeah, like, there was just a lot of people in the comments who literally like were responding to things that I never said. And it was just like, I can't be bothered with this. I ain't got the time and I ain't got the patience for show. But this is why we can't have nice things, I guess. So I just wanted to pop on here, apologize to the reasonable ones of you out there because you guys do deserve to have your thoughts heard. And that's why I want to do discussion videos like that in the first place, because I want us to be able to talk about whatever. And if you take the time to watch my video and leave a respectful comment, whether you disagree or you agree with my opinion, I always like to show my appreciation, even if all I have time to do is leave one of those little hearts, you know, like I want to at least give you guys the same courtesy that you gave to me by watching my video. But whatever. Hey, Anne. Yeah, I like the lives too. They're fun because I feel like I can be really spontaneous. And I'm glad I got to see your message. See, you were one who I would have almost never seen it, but someone who responded to your comment, for some reason, their response, which was perfectly normal and fine and positive, went to the spam folder in the YouTube backend where I can like manage my channel. And I saw that they were responding to you. I was just like, oh, I would have never seen this because I had already stopped reading comments by that point. Yeah, I agree, Pony Coco, and thank you, Janelle. It's strange to me that people are offended by facts, though. Like, I understand that the truth hurts. Like, it's not easy to hear that if you're obese and you're not taking steps to actually make positive changes in your life to get yourself to a state of being in a positive lean tissue to body fat ratio, if you're not making those changes, it's hard to hear that you are putting your health at risk. That doesn't mean that I am being mean to you, though. I'm stating a fact. It's just a fact that's hard to hear. And I don't know, like, I'm not some, I don't know, like, here's the thing, like, there were people who were definitely like sneak dissing me as well in the comments. Like, they'd act like they were giving valuable input into the conversation, but then they would include personal attacks on me. Like, people love to say smug, out of shit line in YouTube comment sections and then like put a heart emoji on the end, like I'm fucking stupid. And that cancels out all the disrespectful shit they just said to me. Oh my God, Farrah, thank you so much. These herbs can't handle that. Y'all know I'm trying to bring back Herb. So many people who even watched that video where I called Taylor Swift a Herb after are like from New York and like, I haven't heard Herb in years. We're bringing it back. We're bringing it back. Thank you, Farrah. You guys, I just did a Costco run today. So between you and who was it? Monica, you guys are buying my chicken breasts. Thank you so much. But yeah, so like people love saying like disrespectful shit to you in YouTube comments and then like putting a heart on the end. Like, get the fuck out of here. Some lady said in the comments that I wasn't empathetic and that I was the wrong person to deliver the message. And honestly, her accusation that I lack empathy shook me for a while. It really bothered me because empathy only comes from being able to relate to another person's pain or feelings through a shared experience. And I relate to the struggles of obesity because I was obese. So it really irked me that she had accused me of lacking empathy until I realized she literally didn't know what the fuck she was talking about. And apparently had the same selective hearing as everyone else in the comments. Because I don't know, as far as being the wrong person to deliver a message, this is YouTube. Like the entire point of starting a YouTube channel, like people start YouTube channels pretty much exclusively to give unsolicited opinions. So how are you going to condescend to me when you chose to click on my video? Fuck out of here. Jesus. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Bessie. I hope, I mean, listen, your friend, if she's in a morbidly obese place, she's undoubtedly in a lot of pain as well. I mean, there is no way that you get to the point of overeating like that simply because the food is available. Like that comes from places of intense emotional pain. But I think acknowledging that your health is at risk is critical to help trying to address those issues that lead you to those behaviors that are keeping you there as well. And maybe if you can address the pain, you can actually start loving yourself and start reversing those behaviors. Misi, she wanted you to be obese in order to speak to obese folks. Who knows? I mean, there's no surplus of logical thinking on YouTube, I'll tell you that. I mean, in that video, I was just sharing an observation about something that I find to be reckless and dangerous within this body positivity movement, and that's it. Frankly, I honestly think that my video will make zero difference whatsoever, but I still wanted to attempt to have this discussion because I think it's an important one. Someone who actually disagreed with me and left a mostly reasonable comment, although she started it off with calling me problematic, which made her lose credibility with me pretty much immediately, since some of y'all know how I feel about that word. But the rest of her comment was fairly reasonable. She mentioned that I didn't bring up the fact that skinny people can also be unhealthy, because she mentioned that she's naturally slim, eats like shit, never works out, all that. And she has friends who are larger than her who take way better care of themselves. And she's right, except I did bring that up is the problem with her comment. I just didn't get into it like explicitly, which I guess I could have done better, but I felt like the video was already half an hour as it was. I didn't go into the whole like skinny fat phenomenon because to me that is a separate issue. I mean, I touched on it when I said almost verbatim that both extremes are unhealthy. You know, that's also why I kept hammering the notion of body fat. I never talked about being thin. I never talked about weighing a certain amount. I was very, very careful with my word choice. And the whole video, I was careful because I know how sensitive this whole topic is. And I don't know how many times. I literally must have said 3 to 4 times in that video that we shouldn't be chasing one aesthetic, you know? In other words, like we shouldn't all be trying to look skinny. We all shouldn't be trying to look like a Victoria's Secret model, whatever it is. We need to focus on sustainable, positive habits for our unique bodies on an individual basis, period. But I just think that's like the most objective way to monitor your health and your risk factors, because we all have different body types, you know, like different capacities for lean tissue. Like with me, like I'm always going to be heavier because I got a lot of muscle, period. But for many people, there is an assumption of health when someone is slim, which also is incorrect. I only think about that because I don't have a trainer certification anymore, but I used to be certified as a personal trainer. So like I can size someone up and be like, this person clearly isn't getting enough activity despite the fact that she wears a size 4 or whatever. Like skinny fat people are pretty easy to pick out just as easily as people who have an unhealthy amount of body fat at higher sizes or larger sizes. And the reason I didn't focus on skinny fat people in that video was we're not in a skinny fat epidemic. We're in an obesity epidemic. Like, it seems pretty obvious. Like, we don't have an apples to apples comparison here. So I didn't really want to derail what I was talking about by getting into size politics, which is its own topic, in my opinion. But I guess I should have also, here's another thing that people were saying before I logged off comments completely, was people were saying that I didn't acknowledge people who were currently obese but may have already started on a road to making positive changes and positive choices, and may have already had reductions in overall body fat. So say a person who you see now who is 300 pounds, maybe that person already lost 100 pounds because they started off at 400. And I didn't mention that explicitly either, since I did say almost verbatim that you should love yourself at whatever size you are today. And that means loving yourself enough to make positive choices instead of destructive ones. So I felt like acknowledging people in that kind of scenario would have been implied, but I guess that wasn't clear enough for some. And I do wish I had said that more blatantly within the content of that video, but whatever. That brings us up to where we are. At that point, I was just getting tired of literally having to respond one by one to people who didn't watch the video. And it's the first time I've ever done this where I've just straight up ignored the comments on one of my videos, full stop, but it had to be done. And I just wanted to say sorry to those of you who weren't being total pricks in the comments, because that means that y'all got ignored too. It's collateral damage, unfortunately. Hopefully, the next topic I do won't have quite as many people writing entire dissertations that have literally fuck all to do with whatever I'm talking about in the video, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, Mr. Gray, like kind of thick for a guy, not overweight, just heavily built. That's the thing. Like, I don't think anyone needs to, I think we need to get out of that kind of thing of just like, oh, like, I still weigh a lot, but you know, that's like you don't need to feel like you need to qualify that. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the way you are. And like, I'm thicker as much as I hate that term. Like, I'm thicker, at least from the waist down. From the waist up, I think a lot of y'all felt like I was catfishing you for however many years until I did my first lookbook and you could see from the waist down that I'm shaped like a fucking spoon. I get very slim up top quickly and pretty easily. My body responds very well and very quickly to exercise and clean eating, which is a term I don't really like. But if I'm living right, my body responds pretty well and pretty quickly, except from the waist down. That's where I hold my body weight. And that's why I thought that for a long time, I was just like, oh, I'm still overweight. I still need to lose all this weight. Turns out, no, I don't. So that helped me because I was able to address, okay, objectively, I'm actually not overweight. I'm just made this way, and my body fat, and especially more importantly, my visceral fat is extremely low. My body fat is not extremely low. It's in the lower end of normal, surprisingly. Like, I kind of can't believe that. But you know, I just carry all my body weight from the waist down. I have cellulite. That's just the way I'm made. Oh, Alexis, you know what? We all have our cross to bear. And it's interesting because I still, whenever I see someone with like super lean, trim legs, I'm just like, I'm just like, wow, you know, and I'm like, what's that like? As if my life would somehow be better. All my problems would be gone if I had a different body type. Like, this is how I used to think. I don't think that way anymore, but I still definitely have admiration for like very lean toned legs. Like, I can just aesthetically appreciate that, but I don't have that irrational thinking of somehow I wouldn't have any problems anymore if I wasn't so pear-shaped. Like, no, that's silly. So I think the key is to just focus on being like, especially after being benched for 6 months with my injury, being able to go to the gym and do pretty much any movements that I want to and feel good, and then actually leave the gym feeling better because I got all the endorphins. I'm so grateful and so happy 5 to 6 days a week because that's how often I go. Brooke, don't you laugh at me. I am shaped like a spoon. I got these fucking Dwight Howard built ass shoulders. And my face also, like, I lose weight in my face quickly. So I can start looking very drawn. And then from the waist down, I'm still stuffing myself into some of my jeans. Yeah, be buff. I must have missed what you were saying up there, but I know who you're talking about. That lady has problems. Like, she's like for real on one. You can't reason with people. Like, when you were like, girl, don't bother, it's just like way ahead of you, way ahead of you. Some people just aren't worth the keystrokes. And it was funny because what she said was so clearly responding to things that I legit never said in the video. And I called her on it. And then she lied in her response to me and said that she had watched my video when she had said up thread. I saw after the fact that she had actually admitted that she was responding to it because she felt that my title was too offensive or something. And I don't even remember, but she admitted to not watching my video, went off, and then lied and said she did watch it when I confronted her on not watching it. So some people are just full of shit. So, there's lots of layers to what being a troll is. There's all different types of trolls. The worst trolls are the people who don't even know they're trolls. And she was one of those because there's this weird type of troll who, to stack the deck in their favor of getting attention, because this is all trolls want is attention, they won't even just leave a comment. They'll respond to another person in the comments so that they can try to start shit with two people. They can try to start shit with the person who made the video as well as with someone in the comments. And that way they've got twice as much opportunity to draw that attention that they so pathetically need. Oh, Tiara, I was a certified trainer in the past, mostly for fun. I wasn't really training clients actively. It was at a time in my career where things were slow. And I was just like, well, if show business really just craps out on me, I want to have a plan B. And I was trying to think about what else I would like to do, what else I'm passionate about. And the obvious answer is fitness. So I went ahead and got my personal trainer certification. The problem with that is nearly all of the certifications out there require you to continuously take courses and re-up, I think yearly or something, or every 2 years, depending on the type of certification. And I was just like, well, that's kind of a racket. Like, I feel like continuing education is a good thing, but it shouldn't be required on such a schedule. Like, that seems to me like a way to just continue making money off of people, which it is. So I have considered getting certified again. I think I would probably go for a CrossFit certification level 1, because I believe that one is a one and done. And then you can get a level 2 if you like, and like weightlifting coach certifications and things like that. Because that's also more, even though I don't even do CrossFit anymore and I've got my own issues with it, I still kind of like a lot of the fundamentals. And I feel like, much like with the body positivity movements, it started off well and then took some turns that I don't really align with for myself personally. So yeah, I have considered getting recertified again, just because I get constantly asked by y'all about when I'm coming out with my own program with this whole She Tried It series. Because I do love doing these reviews, and people are like, you have such great feedback, you have such great insight, why don't you make your own program? Because I'm technically not qualified to do so. And unlike a lot of these Instagrammers, I don't feel comfortable selling something when I don't have the proper qualifications. So that's why I haven't really done it. But I would like to have some kind of current certification in the event I do go down that road, because I do have an idea of what I'd like to do for a program, believe it or not. It's something that's been in the slow cooker for quite some time. It requires quite a bit of consulting and research for me to do this. But yeah, I feel like it could be a good entrepreneurial venture for me. I don't know. I'm a little afraid. I don't know. It just makes me really nervous. The idea of selling something, because I know if I did that, the primary audience would be you guys. And this is the same reason I don't have a Patreon. It's like, I don't want to charge you guys for stuff. Like, I really appreciate the super chats, and you guys just, honestly, all I want is like for us to like be our little community. And if you guys watch my video, just maybe sit through an ad for your girl so I can get my fraction of a cent. But I just feel weird selling something, and that's what makes me afraid to even go down that road. Isabel, I am completed with 5 of the 8 weeks of Stephanie Buttermore. I just finished the deload week, which is basically a somewhat lighter volume week before you head into the final push of 3 weeks where we're really going to be lifting some heavy weights, which I'm nervous and excited for. And my cakes, they are still baking, but I like where this is going. I'll leave it at that for now. Yeah, B-Buff. Which certification do you even have? I was NASM because I felt like that was pretty widely recognized in terms of if I actually did want to go down the path of becoming a trainer at a gym or something. I felt like, you know, NASM was like a pretty good across the board recognized one. Taylor, charge us. Morgan Layton, I really appreciate that because I think there is a lot of BS, and by BS, I mean bro science out there. And people just, and this happens in every community on YouTube. Like I was saying earlier, you know, this platform is founded on people giving unsolicited opinions, and that can often mean giving you wrong information. It happens in the hair community. I mean, I still cringe when I hear people say things like, I don't like coconut oil because it has too much protein in it. I'm like, it literally has 0 protein. It's a fat. Look at it. Look at the label. Like, there is no protein in oil. But, Lord. Thank you, Arto. But yeah, I mean, that's all. Like the fact that you guys watch my videos, if you sit through an ad, I don't really want to ask more of you. I've been getting more and more requests to start a Patreon, but like I ain't got nothing to be Patreon in right now. Like I don't want to charge you guys to watch my videos. You know, like I don't know what, nothing feels appropriate at this stage. So I do have an idea, like sort of a thesis / vision for a program that I want to do. But it wouldn't be done anytime soon. And I would also want to have a trainer certification of some sort at the time of release. And those can be quite costly, especially if I go down the road of getting a CrossFit certification. That's well over a G, I believe. So your girl ain't flush with the cash like that. Okay, B-Buff, you went with Ace. Yeah, I considered that one too. That one's also kind of a classic Paulette. I have the carb certification. Oh God, Brittany Dawn. She's Isabel. She's a scam artist, allegedly. I'm saying allegedly just because I'm on video, but I don't think there's that much allegedly to it. Yeah, yeah, be buff. Everyone except Ace. I think Ace and NASM were the 2 I was looking at the most. And then isn't there one that starts with like an I? It's been so long, I can't remember, but I feel like it's I and some other letters or something. Well, Misi, if you're trying to lose 40 pounds and you already were diagnosed with arthritis, I mean, again, not a trainer, not currently. Running may be a bit too intense. That's a lot of pounding. That's a lot of impact. If you're already carrying some extra lbs, and then if your joints are already inflamed from arthritis, maybe you want to think of something a little bit more low impact. Do you have access to a pool? Maybe water jogging. Alexis, girl, charge me. Oh, man. Thank you, Simone. Yeah, she was, she needs a little help right now. She's looking a little flat up here. Girl, coily by nature. I heard about that bleach thing on Philip DeFranco. I was like, I must be doing something right because I definitely have not been recommended any videos of people drinking bleach. I just heard about this. Sorry, I'm so thoughtful and proper. I don't know if that's true. I I'm an asshole, Sarita. That's why I'm laughing. I was just like, thoughtful and proper. I'm a dirtbag? Natural advice. I'm not going to speak on it yet because I don't know much about it. I just saw like one headline before I came on to do this live, so I have almost no information. Mal Robinson, I'm drinking a mezcal mule. Indio Prother music, been there, done that. I mean, obesity and just being overweight, because, you know, I think I'm probably of the last generation. I think people under 30 probably won't experience this quite as much, but I'm of the last generation where it wasn't very common, at least at the childhood phase, for there to be heavy kids. There would be like one kid in class who was the fat kid, wasn't me. However, I did start gaining weight later. And even though I wasn't the fat kid in class, my family led me to believe that I had a weight problem pretty much my entire life. So I feel like I essentially never got to experience feeling comfortable and normal in my body. And it sucks because I look back on pictures of myself as a kid and I was just like, wait, why was my mom like telling me my legs were big? Like I look like I was a normal little girl. So I've got a whole lot of baggage with that. Um, and I feel like I've struggled with obesity my whole life, even though realistically, I didn't actually start packing on the pounds for real until junior high, early high school, around then. So yeah, I've tried it all and nothing really clicked until I finally had that turning point moment where I was 197 after my freshman year of college, like I talked about in my last video. And that's when it was like, okay, enough is enough. I can't let this continue any longer. Donna Lee, if you're an asshole, I'm queen of assholes. Maybe that's why we all get along so well. Maybe we're all just assholes, but I think the key to being a functional asshole is recognizing you're an asshole. It's true, Paulette. Like there was one fat kid in class at school, and now it's just like childhood obesity is almost as academic as adult, I think. That's why Michelle Obama had that whole "Let's Move" campaign. It is a problem. Like it's completely pervaded our entire society. Oh wow. So Pimenta, you've got the ectomorphs in your family if you follow the somatotypes. I think those are at least anecdotally interesting. I don't know if I like fully believe the somatotypes, but like the more I think about it whenever I'm presented with like, you know, just like an anecdotal case study, I feel like I can kind of identify what a person is. Oh, thank you, Janelle. Super chats for TT. Put functional asshole on a shirt, I'd wear it. Uh, Gwen, I've heard the term piano legs before. You know some guy who was actually sweating me. He was a friend of a friend. Thank you, Shauna. Thank you, Taylor. Look at you guys. You guys are too much. Me too, Talisa. I love mezcal. It's like the big bad brother of tequila. But yeah, piano legs. Some guy who was sweating me, friend of a friend who was like clearly into me. I mean, not to like sound arrogant, but like he lacks subtlety, this guy. And I guess we must have been talking about working out and stuff at some point because we were talking about squats. And I don't remember how we were talking about this, but he was just like, yeah, I bet you can't squat a lot with those tree trunks for legs. I was just like, if you're trying to get fucked, it ain't gonna happen now. That is not something you say to somebody who you're attracted to and trying to woo. The fuck? I mean, I know he didn't like think that was a bad thing to say, but if you don't think that's a bad thing to say, you're a fucking nitwit. You don't say that to a woman. Thank you, Janelle. You're the only one. Chastity, it was pretty much my mom and my dad and like older relatives as well. Like it was always like comments about my I honestly know the exact moment when I first became like self-conscious. Oh, thank you, Be Buff. Thank you so much. You know what? That's not a bad idea. I should save all my super chats up and just put them toward the certification fund so I can actually put a program together and feel like not like a fraud in doing it. But what the fuck was I talking about? I don't remember. But anyway, yeah, my family's like my family was not very nice to me growing. Oh, I was gonna say I remember the exact moment, like the specific comment from my mom where I developed this like self-conscious fucking I don't know, this issue with the size of my legs. Which if I ever do my weight loss journey video, I'll get into that there, but I don't think I'll ever be able to do that. If I do, it will have so many edits because I'll have to cut around my crying. Like as much as I feel like I'm good now, I got this, those scars never fully heal, you know? I think all you guys who have ever struggled with weight understand exactly what I'm saying, but those scars never fully heal. That's why, again, I was trying to be so careful with my word choice in that video, but still triggered a lot of people, unfortunately. Oh, thank you, Cyrita. Good heavens. Some of y'all are balling out. Your brother, Patreon cough cough. Functional asshole merch. Donna Lee, I've got a running list of shirts just from like little things I say, but I also I don't know. I guess like I could look into just doing like a Teespring or something like that. I know a lot of YouTubers use that. I don't know. I just feel a little weird selling stuff to y'all. But at least like with merch, you're getting something. Like you're getting the shirt. Functional asshole. T-shirts, Alexis. Oh, Betty. Betty, I know. Mile Mile Robinson. I hope I'm saying your name right, but thank you so much. I'm the fuckboy now. All right, you guys, I'm definitely going to seriously investigate doing some merch. You guys are putting wind in my sails. Because we talked about this during Vlogmas, and then I was just like, nah, nobody wants my damn merch. But I feel like we have lots of little things that we say as a group, or like just dumb things I say, and then y'all think it's funny. Functional asshole. That is pretty good. I'm the fuckboy now. Somebody wanted pigmentation. I remember that one being a good one. Ooh, those might be pricey though, Paulette. I don't know how much. I don't even know if Teespring has sweat wicking shirts, but I bet they can probably do just like racerback tanks and stuff. I tend to wear just like a tank top to the gym, like such as. It does need to be cute. I agree, CC. I'm not doing merch if it ain't cute. I'm not gonna do some like, you know, unisex tee. It's got to be cute. It's got to look good on the guys, good on the women. I'd probably do versions for both so that they'll be cut properly, because those unisex tees are never cute. Me, see, all tea, all shade. That one would, I mean, all tea, all shade would probably have to be the first one, or at least one of the first ones. Maybe I'll do like a couple designs to start. I'll do some research this weekend, you guys. I promise. And thank you, Misi, for that $5. Everything's going into the Let's Get Tea Certified fund. Chastity, I got you covered. Shirts. Paulette, I bought a new purple shirt today. Like I need more purple, but I was at Nordstrom Rack. I had no damn business being there, but it was a $10 tank and it was purple, and I was just like, I'll take that. Renata, thank you. No, I mean, you don't have to do anything at all. Just you guys showing up for this live stream, this unannounced live stream. I've already had you guys for 40 minutes. We should probably wrap this up. Something that's all I got going for me right now. Functional asshole anonymous. FAA. FAA squad. Nia, I would definitely do plus size merch. I mean, see, that's the thing. I think people in the comments were literally saying, "Oh, you're fat phobic. Oh, the fat phobia just jumped out." The Neanderthal just jumped out because that has nothing to do with anything I said in that video. I absolutely reiterate, love yourself at the size you are today. Please, please. I know it's easier said than done, but me wanting all of us to be at a place where we've got a healthy ratio of lean tissue to body fat does not mean that you shouldn't love yourself if you're not there yet. Of course not. Mm. Taylor, we're probably going to log off. I don't want to keep you guys. It's already been 40 minutes, so I should probably go soon. But yeah. Yes, Sarita. It is about that time. It's about time to start washing off the dirt, the grime, the sunscreen, whatever we may have on. Exactly. Exactly. Love yourself is one of the hardest things to do. You know what I mean? Like, it is so much easier said than done. And that is why so many of us are struggling with these eating disorders and all sorts of other negative behaviors. It's an outgrowth of not loving ourselves. All right, I know it's also getting late out there. Some of y'all are in the East Coast or even in other countries where it's the middle of the night. So I guess we will call it. And I just want to say thanks again to all y'all who showed up for this live. I am going to leave it up because in case someone couldn't make it and they're actually one of my real ones, I want them to hear my thoughts on all this aftermath of that last video, because some people are owed an apology and a lot of people definitely are not. To those people, I said what I said. But yeah, I love you guys. I hope you have a great rest of the week. And if I don't see you guys again before the weekend, that'll do it. So thanks again. And never trust anybody with a Morphe code. Bye.